on it, but not really know exactly what it does and the damage that it can actually do. But I
Yeah.
see it on my side. Now, as far as crash playing goes, well, I've gotten a lot of responses that say take another look. And, again, I'm happy with Dropbox. I can probably use it in conjunction. I do have servers. I have a whole set of servers. I have a 24 terabyte server at the office, and
24?
I have a 24 terabyte server, RAID 6 24 terabyte server, and I have an
Great.
additional 18 terabytes or something or so on a secondary server.
Jeez.
And so those things are already being backed up and going out. And I've been living on Dropbox for portability of my regular files that I actually work with.
All right.
But CrashPlan has some interesting content, and some things, and supports all three platforms. And uh, you know, that's it. It warrants an additional look, and so I'll take another look at it and see how well that goes.
Sounds good. All right, Scott, before we end off, why don't you tell us where people can find you or where you're going to be in the near future?
Um, I am going to be, my next thing is going to be the class in Washington, D.C. So from March 6th, I mean, it's March 7th to March 11th. So on myharddrivedied.com, there is a classes page, and there is a form that you can basically send me. I have basically three formats for my classes. And so that's basically the seated 5-day class where everyone will actually be in the class for in Washington, D.C. Then I have an additional one that's following up that will be in Atlanta in April, from April 11th to April 15th. And I also sell my class in a box, basically, for the people who can't make a seated class or can't get to those locations, or they want all the tools and everything basically bundled together. It will all be in that same location. So that's called a distance learning class. And so you can find that on My Hard Drive Died or go to the store section. If you want to see a sample of the old version 1 class, there's a book up there that's basically like 20 bucks. And you can go buy it from Lulu or whatever, and it's got about 600 pages of printed material and things with it. The current book that actually goes with the current classes, which is not sold online directly, is 1,200 pages currently. So that has expanded, includes text and examples and all kinds of content, and about 160 hours of video goes on the drive with that particular class. After that, the next thing is going to be the conference, Outer Zone, and that will be on March 18th and March 19th in Atlanta. And later on this year, another person and I are putting on, with two other people, a conference called Skydog Con.
Wait,
And so
say it
Skydog
again. You
Con,
broke up a little bit.
it's called Skydog Con.
Okay.
So Skydog Cons is the name of this other conference that we're putting together, which is, basically all the names were taken. No, Skydog is the name of, it's a hacker conference basically, and that's going to be actually later in the year. We're looking at October or so for that to exist. So that's basically the upcoming stuff that we're working on. That one's going to actually be in Tennessee. We're looking at Nashville, Tennessee, and renting a facility there and trying to make a con that's kind of a little similar to Shmoocon, and doing security talks and privacy talks and things like that, and kind of having a hacker environment for people to learn. And you can tell from the way that I'm doing things that I try not to make things a secret, and they're not a black art, and I try to expand that knowledge. And so that's basically our idea behind putting together these cons, is to publish these videos and put them out there and to let people see them, and to not hide it in a corner somewhere where people don't know what's going on.
Right. Right. Good stuff, man. Sounds exciting. Very geeky. I'm sure a lot of the listeners would love it and be interested in going to some of that stuff, and
Well,
interested in your kit as well.
well, thank you. And like I said, in a couple of days, I'll have the videos from Shmoocon and the animations put up for this talk, and the talk that I did at the DoD, the Department of Defense Cybercrime Summit, is already put up on the site. It's under the current talks and current information. So that's already about one-third down on the presentation page. And there'll be a lot more free material put up. I pretty much put it all out there.
Sounds good. Thanks
Well,
again.
thank,
Thank you very much again, Scott.
well, thanks for having me on, Steve. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime. And that is going to be it for My Hard Drive Died for this week. Thank you guys for watching, listening, streaming. Stay tuned for Linux for the rest of us coming on at 8:30. See you guys next time. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
We're still live. but we're not
Okay.
recording on the audio.
Yep. Well, that was a fantastic show. That was longer than usual. That's good. Well, we missed last month, so that'd be good
Th-
for people to have a lot of material.
That's what I figured. I mean, do all the emails, all the voicemails. It went actually the show was an hour and a half, but
Awesome.
yeah, it's give
Yep.
we over deliver.
Yeah. Well, that's good. As soon as you have that link, I'll get into my new site here and post it. Uh, I'll try to put some stuff up near the top so people can see it.
Are you using Drupal 7?
Yes, I'm using the newest stuff of Drupal, but now keep in mind I have a developer who actually handled all the Drupal components themselves, and so I'm doing some maintenance and putting some stuff up myself for the blogging and the other stuff.
Yeah.
But
No, Drupal's. I use Drupal for my site. I think it's awesome.
yeah, yeah, right.
You could just do so much with it.
Yeah, it's a really nice kind of, encompassed database component, and it has done a good job for, laying my stuff out. And I do like too, we've added all the other components where my Twitter feeds are running constantly over on the right. So if you look down towards the bottom, my Twitter stuff is always on the right. And
Oh
so
yeah.
the track agendas, the spyprogram stuff is there. And then down at the bottom, there's actually that toolbar that's running across the bottom. You can see that there's 5 people online. You're one of them. And basically it has ways for them to share pictures and tweets and content and Facebook, my stuff. I've got the links to my YouTube videos across the bar. I need to change my photos because I have a bunch of photos of that one he linked to was actually like my kids and things like that. But I've got a I've got a component that actually has all the photos and stuff that actually go with. So those are some photos that I've taken or done in my semi-professional photography arena. But I do have like hard drive photos and a bunch of other stuff that actually goes here. So he linked to the wrong Flickr thing.
Damn, this is still pretty cool. What bar?
Yeah,
How did what did he use for that bar? That's not a custom.
there's a tool and it's called like a Wiki Bar, or whatever. I paid for a year of their professional service, which allows you to add the content and the code and then join the chat and the whole thing. And it's shoot, what's the name of the? It begins with a W.
This is cool,
Uh,
man. Very
yeah.
cool.
So I like that it floats in place and it adds the content and the whole thing and continues to go online. Shows you there's actually a map there that'll show you where people are joining in from. So some people are listening to you and posting it or getting on the site from. There's 7 there right now. They're coming in from, other countries, basically. You can see it in the map.
UK. If you guys go to
Yeah.
myharddrive.com, you can see Scott's pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, those might not be there. That's a double rainbow. There was a couple. I mean, I do some semi, professional photography stuff, and these were just the ones that I actually had done conversions on and thrown up.
Sweet.
One of them that's pretty cool, if you look in the middle of the big pictures again, so that you see all the pictures, there's one that has like a floating balloon in the sky. I don't know if you saw that one. It looks like it's lit in the middle.
Let me see. Let me
Go back, go.
Oops.
Because when you zoom out, it shows you all of the pictures. And then you'll see the second picture on the top row? Yeah, click on that one. So this is actually outside in we're physically at Sony Movie Studios. I did a job at Sony Movie Studios. And so that particular picture is a balloon. They have like this helium balloon that blows up that it has lights in it. And they light the outside streets when they're going to do a music video. So one of the nights I was working there, they actually doing some hard drive stuff. They were going to film this video, and they swapped out all the posters, pictures, and all the stuff. They came and brought trees in, and this is actually like outside in the middle between buildings. And they brought a big floating light in, and it was one of the coolest things. It looks completely fake, but it's pretty awesome. They just strap it up and had the lights out there.
How is it raised? It's like a hydrogen, helium. What is it?
Yeah, yeah, it floats on its own, so it's a helium balloon probably more than likely, and it has
They just hang
yeah,
lights from it.
no, it's like a whole balloon with the lights mounted inside the balloon or
Yeah.
something. So they light it and send it up, and then they strap it down on top of the roof there, so it just floats over the middle of the street to light it.
That is
It
freaking
was
amazing.
really weird. It was really a weird looking, yeah.
That is amazing. Unbelievable.
So So yeah, it was pretty awesome. So
Geek Nation in the chat room says it's a Weebia toolbar. Wibya.
Weebia, yeah, that's it.
Weebia. Mindmelt says, can we get a URL for that, Steve or Scott? What I caught of the show is really good, guys. Can we? Oh, yeah. The as soon as I'm done recording Mindmelt, it goes right up on Justin TV as a video you can watch. Yes, there's no guests on Podnuts Daily today, so we're not going to be doing that, guys. We'll have somebody on tomorrow, though. Let's see. Okay, I think that pretty much answered the questions. You guys have any questions for Scott while we have him on the line? Just post them there in the chat room while I look at Scott's other pictures. I like Cool Iris, too. It's a neat way to show pictures.
Yeah, it's I mean, they have like plugins for that toolbar, and so basically the plugins you just when you after you because there's a free version and there's a pay version of the toolbar, and if you do the pay version, you can remove all their branding stuff that they had. So that's what I did was removed all their branding, and then you have plugins, and you can just choose which plugins you want. And then point it to that particular content. So obviously, like the YouTube one is a
Right.
plugin, and so it all ties to the code back to their page, and there's a little embedded piece of code that you put on your page, and it'll just basically float there. So there's 100 more. I mean, you can put, WordPress blogs and a dozen other things in there, and so it basically can grow or change, and all I have to do is log into their site to make the changes. So I don't have to modify the code or the content on the page or anything like that.
I see. That's great. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not very intrusive either. It's just sitting down there.
Yeah, it's some people did point out, they don't necessarily like Facebook or whatever, know where they're going, but unless you actually log in when you do this stuff, I don't think it arbitrarily just knows or points it out
Right.
unless you click the button.
Right.
So from that standpoint, it doesn't do anything unless you've logged in
Let me know.
on your
Let me know
account.
your reaction to it. I'm still in the I hate toolbar stage, but this is kind of different.
Well, it's a little bit different in the fact that this is specific for my content and it's
Right.
not anybody else's stuff. So, they can Facebook, Twitter, look at the photos and do those things. Generally speaking, a lot of people like it because they feel that it adds a touch to the site
Right.
that is again back to the social networking component. If I decide to turn it off or whatever, I do have those social networking components at the bottom of if you go to the bottom of the page, there's a gray box down there that's basically like the catalog for the site, and I have the content down there. But for the most part, I like this. I like going on and being able to tell that there's 5 people online or who's hitting the site.
Yeah.
And the translate thing is a big deal for me because I have a lot of clients that come from other places in other countries, and I don't know all of their languages, but it's fantastic that if you hit the translate bar, it just automatically will translate every page on the fly. You can switch whatever
Wow.
language you want. I didn't have to do any work for that, so you just pick what you want. And so if I've got people in German, then the page will be translated in German, and they can have each page,
How much is it? Yeah,
show.
this is awesome. This is really cool. How much is this thing for the professional?
Um, the professional one was I did like $95 for a year. So like I paid in advance for a year, it's $95.
Okay,
So
that's not bad.
yeah, so they have one more level up from there that's like 120 or whatever. But you know, from that perspective, I think that it comes across really good, and it's kind of nice that as they move around on the site too, even like the translate stuff uh, will float. You can actually continue to do that or do recent posts. But my blog entries will show up there often and things too. So
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, I'm liking it.
yeah,
All right, we got some questions here. Mine Note wants to know what is a hard drive. All right, Geek Nation says I have a WDC Raptor. I need to send it to you. It clicks. Okay, Geek Nation, you know where to find them. Vash says, does Scott think spinning drives will eventually be replaced by solid state drives?
I think that in laptops and in portable devices, yes. I think in servers and currently probably even desktops that there's no hurry to replace them. So we're probably looking at another 8 to 10 year lifespan for 3.5 inch spinning disks and server drives before we're actually headed into that. It's more likely we're going to have like a dual world where we may have like a fast boot solid state for a short period of time. But your real problem is that solid state drives, they have there's single layer, double layer, and now there's triple bit. And those basically, as they get larger, as the drive has